Hey, how's it going? And today I just wanted to talk about spawn and asynchronous functions in verse. I just have these 6 points I want to make. The first is that asynchronous functions require the suspense specifier. And I have up here as the first example of that. So as you see, we have this sleep, which is considered an asynchronous function. And you notice I'm getting an error here. And it's basically telling me I can't put this in the body of this on begins because there's no suspense specifier here. And the suspense indicates that the function is async, and it creates an async context for the body of the function. So all I have to do to fix this is just type in suspense. Now here's another thing that's really interesting to me. I've got caught up on this before. Whenever you see suspends, you know that that's either an async function or that it can hold concurrency expressions. So here, there's no suspends, so you can think, oh, this is a synchronous function. That means it's going to fire within a frame. It's going to fire right away. It's an immediate function. But now I'm calling an asynchronous function. So here, this is a synchronous function calling an asynchronous function. Or I could say it's an immediate function calling a suspense. So here's the rule. A non-asynchronous function cannot call an asynchronous function. That's why I'm getting this error here. You may be tempted to put a suspense in here, but you don't have to. Because what we can do is there is one valuable concurrency expression called spawn, and that allows us to call an asynchronous function. Spawn, what it does is it creates its own async context within its body, but it can only hold one expression within itself. The other thing that's interesting about spawn is that you can write it with the colons here, like this, like that, but you can also write it with the curly braces too. So if I bring it up here and I put it inside of the curly braces, you'll notice I don't get an error. But that kind of goes along with it only being able to do one expression at a time. But you notice, see how the error went away? The other thing that's interesting about spawn, unlike branch, and I did a tutorial about branch, I'll put that link in the description, is that once it calls an async function, it will allow that function to continue to run independently for as long as it needs to. So it doesn't cancel out. Spawn is really great. It really is a valuable concurrency expression. That's pretty much it. Last point really is spawn allows a non-asynchronous function to call an asynchronous function because it creates an async context within its own body, but it can only hold one. That's all I had for today. I hope you found this helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.